you ever wondered why some people feel the need to put others down? Why they throw insults, make cruel jokes, or try to shrink your confidence when you've done nothing to deserve it? The truth is, people belittle what they fear. They try to break what they can't control. When someone sees something in you that reminds them of what they lack, your strength, your potential, your peace, they try to tear it down. It's not about you, it's about them. But if you don't understand that, it's easy to take their words personally. It's easy to let their voice become your inner critic. And once you do that, they win. Not because they were right, but because you let their weakness shape your self-permission. You see, most people who insult you aren't confident themselves. Truly confident people don't need to humiliate others. They uplift, they support, they lead by example. But the insecure, they lash out. They wear masks of arrogance to hide their fear of being invisible. And when they see you stand tall, even in silence, it threatens them because your presence makes their excuses look small. Your potential reminds them of everything they never chased, and your calm shakes their chaos. This is why you can't give their words power, because if you believe every insult, every sneer, every passive-aggressive comment, you hand your self-worth over to people who never earned the right to define it. And that's a trap too many fall into. One cruel comment becomes a scar that lasts for years. One moment of mockery becomes a silent echo in your mind, repeating itself over and over again. But you are not what they say. You are not their opinion. You are not their weakness. You are something more. You were never meant to blend in. That's why you stand out. You were never meant to be silent when truth is in you. That's why your voice bothers them. And you were never meant to stay small. That's why they try so hard to keep you there. They'll call you too much, too quiet, too loud, too confident, too soft, too bold. But here's what they won't say out loud. They wish they had your courage. They wish they had your strength to keep going despite the noise. So instead of rising with you, they try to pull you down. When someone belittles you, they reveal their character, not yours. That's the key. Let them talk, let them mock, let them assume. It doesn't matter, because confidence isn't about proving them wrong. It's about knowing who you are when the world tries to confuse you. It's about staying grounded when they try to shake you. And it's about building a life so full of purpose, their noise becomes background static. You don't need to fight every insult. You don't need to respond to every attack. The moment you understand that, you take back your power. You stop living in reaction and you start living by intention. Think about it. If a stranger shouted nonsense at you in a language you didn't understand, would you get offended? Would you carry that pain for weeks? No, because it wouldn't make sense to you. That's how you need to treat the words of those who try to break your spirit. It's not truth, it's noise. And your peace doesn't belong in the hands of people who haven't earned your respect. So don't shrink. Don't hide. Don't question your worth just because someone else can't see it. You're not here to fit into their box. You're here to build your own path, and you don't need their approval to do it. Your confidence doesn't come from their praise. It comes from your clarity, from the way you carry yourself, from the strength it takes to rise again and again, no matter how many times they try to push you down. Let them belittle, let them misunderstand, let them speak, but you keep walking, keep growing, keep becoming the kind of person who doesn't just survive insults, but transform them into fuel. You can't achieve anything if you give up. Your confidence doesn't come from them. Keep walking, keep growing, keep becoming the kind of person who doesn't just survive insults, but transform them into, because here's what they'll never expect, that their words, their doubt, their attempts to break you will become the very fire that made you unstoppable. Stay with this message until the end, because by the time we're done, you won't just know how to stay confident, you'll feel it in your bones, not just in silence, but in action, not just in defense, but in purpose. What you'll gain is more than confidence. It's emotional power, the kind no one can take away. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, thought by thought, choice by choice. And the most powerful kind of confidence doesn't come from applause, attention, or validation. It comes from knowing who you are when no one's watching, from trusting your own voice in a world full of noise, from standing tall even when someone tries to knock you down with words. When people try to belittle you, they're testing something deeper than your patience. They're testing your self-permission because they know if they can get into your head, they don't have to lift a finger to slow you down. That's why your greatest weapon isn't your reaction. It's your inner calm, your discipline to stay composed, your ability to remember your value, even in the middle of disrespect. That's what real strength looks like. It's not exploding in anger or trying to match their energy. It's not needing to clap back just to feel in control. It's staying in alignment with your truth. Because confidence is about direction. It's about refusing to let small minds steer a great soul off course. So how do you hold on to your power when someone tries to tear it from you? You start from the inside. You train your mind to protect your peace. You remind yourself daily that your worth is not up for debate, and you move with intention, not ego. Look in the mirror and speak life into yourself. Not once, not only when you're hurt, but as a habit. They won't shake you. The insults can come, but they won't define you. Walk with posture. Stand like you own your space, because you do. When you walk into a room, your energy speaks before your words ever do. Let your body communicate what your mouth doesn't need to say. I'm not here to impress, I'm here to express. I'm not here to beg for approval, I already carry my own. And when the insults come, and they will, you don't flinch, you don't internalize, you observe, you understand, and then you let them pass. Like wind through open windows. You don't trap it, you don't chase it, you just let it go. There is peace in not needing to prove. There is power in not reacting. That's where true confidence lives. In the silence between insult and response. In the pause where you decide who you are, not who they want you to be. Understand this clearly. You never have to fight for your worth. You were already born with it. No one can take it. No one can grant it. The world didn't give it to you, and the world can't take it away. What people say about you is a reflection of them. How you respond, that's a reflection of you. Confidence isn't a performance. It's not loud. It's not boastful. It doesn't need an audience. Real confidence whispers, I'm enough, even when no one claps. It reminds you that you're still valuable, even in a room full of silence, even after failure, even in the face of rejection. And the most dangerous person in the world is the one who doesn't flinch when insulted, the one who has mastered their emotions, the one who knows that confidence isn't about being unshaken. It's about choosing not to be shaken by things that don't matter. So the next time someone belittles you, remember this. You don't have to shrink. You don't have to justify. You don't have to defend your light just because it makes someone else uncomfortable. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them project. That's their story, not yours. You're not here to argue with darkness. You're here to shine in spite of it. Hold your head high. Speak only when it serves your peace. And walk like someone who knows that the greatest revenge is always rising higher. Not in anger, not in pride, but in purpose. Because when you know who you are, no insult can undo that truth. And if you stay rooted, stay focused, and stay grounded in your own power, then what once used to break you will now build you. And what used to shake you will now sharpen you. You are not here to react, you are here to rise. And that is the mindset that no one can touch. When you choose not to react with anger, when you decide to hold your ground with calm strength instead of emotional outbursts, you begin to master a different kind of power. A power that doesn't need to be loud to be felt. A power that doesn't demand validation because it already knows its worth. And that power changes everything. becomes wisdom, not reaction. That's what separates the reactive from the relentless, the emotional from the elevated. You don't have to win every battle with words. You win when you don't lose yourself. That's real victory. When you walk away with your dignity, your grace, and your peace still intact, that's winning. Because people can take many things from you, but they can never take your self-respect unless you hand it to them. Let that truth settle in. You do not owe anyone a reaction that costs you your inner calm. You do not owe an explanation to those committed to misunderstanding you. Some people are not looking for clarity, they're looking for control. And when they can't get it, they try to shake you. Belittling you is just their tool. Your silence, that's your shield. Your growth, that's your revenge. Your mission is too big to get distracted by small minds. Your path is too important to get caught in petty conflicts. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. Declining is not weakness, it's wisdom. You can protect your energy without defending your ego, because your ego wants to be right, but your soul wants peace, and peace always wins in the end. So instead of reacting, redirect. Channel your energy into building yourself, not breaking others. Use that moment of insult to fuel your growth, not your anger. When someone mocks you, level up. When someone doubts you, upgrade your discipline. Let their negativity become your catalyst. This is how you transform pain into power. You take what was meant to tear you down and use it to rise. You take what was thrown at you and build with it. Every insult becomes a brick. Every doubt becomes a step. And before they know it, you've built something unstoppable with the very things they tried to use against you. With the very things they tried to use against you. Confidence silence their noise. There's nothing more threatening to insecure people than someone who doesn't flinch, someone who doesn't play their game, someone who is so grounded in who they are that nothing can shake their foundation. Be that person. The world doesn't need more loud egos, it needs more calm warriors. People who lead with strength, not spite. People who inspire with presence, not performance. People who have trained themselves to remain kind in the face of cruelty, composed in the face of chaos, and certain in the face of doubt. You are more than what they say. You are more than how they treat you. You are more than their opinions, projections, or assumptions. Your life is not theirs to narrate. Your journey is not theirs to judge. And your truth? That's yours to protect, fiercely and fully. So keep your head high. Keep your heart steady. Keep your vision clear. Let their words bounce off the armor of your self-belief. Let their actions remind you why you never want to become like them. And let your path forward be the loudest response of all. Because at the end of the day, confidence isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself. It's about choosing clarity over conflict, purpose over pride, growth over reaction. And when you make that choice every day, you become untouchable. Not because you fight harder, but because you rise higher. They can try to belittle you, but you've already outgrown their game. They can try to shake you, but your roots run too deep. And they can try to pull you down, but you were never meant to stay on their level anyway. So keep going, keep rising, and let the strength of your silence speak louder than their noise ever could. This is your power. And once you own it, truly own it, no one can ever take it from you again. Every time you stay grounded in the face of disrespect, you prove something powerful, not to them, but to yourself. You prove that your peace is no longer negotiable. You prove that your identity is no longer shaped by outside opinions. You prove that your confidence has matured into something deeper, something unshakable. Because real confidence isn't about being perfect. It's not about having all the answers or never feeling insecure. It's about knowing you are enough, even when others try to make you feel small. It's about trusting that your value isn't up for debate. And it's about standing firm in that truth, even when the world challenges it. Let them laugh, let them whisper, let them try to label you. It changes nothing. Their voice doesn't write your future. Their criticism doesn't control your destiny. Their doubt doesn't define your ability. You know who you are. You know what you're becoming. And that vision is stronger than any insult they throw at you. This is how you lead yourself out of the chaos. You stop reacting to everything that pokes at your pride. You stop lowering yourself to fit into conversations that don't deserve your presence. You begin to understand that confidence is quiet because it doesn't need to convince anyone. It just is. And when you reach that level, their words can't touch you anymore. You stop asking, why are they doing this to me? And start asking, why am I still giving them my energy? You stop defending your worth and start demonstrating it. Not through arguments, not through comebacks, but through actions, through grace, through the way you keep showing up, calm and focused, no matter what comes your way. Because in the end, people will remember how you made them feel, but more importantly, you'll remember how you made yourself feel. Did you let their hate harden you, or did you let it awaken your power? Did you sink to their level, or did you rise to meet your own standards? Every insult is an invitation, not to fight, but to rise, not to defend, but to lead, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself that your growth is no longer reactive. It's intentional. You are no longer trying to escape the storm. You've learned how to walk through it without losing your center. And the more you do this, the stronger you get. Not louder, stronger. Not meaner, wiser. You start walking into rooms without shrinking, without scanning for approval, without adjusting yourself to make others feel comfortable. You simply exist in your truth, fully, freely, unapologetically. This is when people start to notice not just what you do, but who you've become. They see it in your posture, in your tone, in the way you respond without desperation or anger. You're not trying to be liked. You're not trying to be feared. You're just real, centered, focused. And nothing shakes a room like someone who knows who they are. When someone belittles you, they're betting on one thing. They're betting that you'll give them your attention. Don't. Because when you stop entertaining distractions, you create room for transformation. You create space for clarity, and you begin to walk like someone who is no longer playing small to please the crowd. There's nothing more powerful than self-control, nothing more dangerous to negativity than someone who refuses to engage in it. You become a force, not because of your rage, but because of your calm. Not because you fight everything, but because you've trained yourself to choose peace over performance. This doesn't mean you let people walk over you. It means you've outgrown the need to prove yourself to people who never mattered. You've learned that dignity always wins, even if the victory is silent. You've learned that being misunderstood is a small price to pay for protecting your energy. You've learned that not every battle deserves your presence, especially when your absence speaks louder. So let the world talk, let them guess, let them assume. You're not here to be explained. You're here to evolve. And every time you respond with grace instead of reaction, every time you choose stillness over struggle, every time you walk away with your head high, you teach the world how to treat you. And more importantly, you remind yourself of your own strength. You confirm that the fire inside you can't be dimmed by outside noise. You reinforce that the path you're on is far too meaningful to waste time on meaningless conflicts. Your power lies not in what you say to them, but in what you say to yourself when they're gone. Remind yourself that you are built for more, that your presence is a gift, that your life is a statement. And that statement is one of growth, of resilience, of silent, steady, unstoppable confidence. Keep that energy, protect it, build it. Because when the world sees that their words don't define you, their opinions don't derail you, and their judgment doesn't change you, that is when you become truly untouchable.